Welcome to the Healing Pod. I'm Megan, a licensed clinical psychologist.
And I'm Jessica, a licensed clinical social worker, and this is our journey of navigating anxiety as we learn to take up space and create an environment where we feel that we can belong.
Join us together as we learn not just to survive, but to thrive in our anxious brains.
This podcast is intended for educational and informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for professional therapy or medical advice. If you are experiencing any mental health concerns, please seek support from a qualified mental health professional or healthcare provider. Remember, your mental health is important, and seeking personalized professional help is key to your well-being.
And welcome back after taking a week off and stopping to see Jess in Florida, which really was Jess coming down to see me when I was in Florida. We are actually back to recording an episode, unfortunately not in the same state anymore.
We really tried to do it in the same state, but the stars were working against us, and we're lucky we even saw each other.
Mm-hmm. It was trying very, very hard to make it not happen. Who reschedules a prom? I am just asking. Why on earth would anyone do that?
Especially on our weekend. Of all the weekends, they couldn't choose
Seriously?
another weekend?
Any other weekend? No, nope, they chose ours. But that leads us into very well the topic we wanted to talk about today, which was when you don't feel like the main character in your own life.
That's a rough one. See, this is where those shots come in, right? Everybody take a shot if you've ever not felt like you're the main character in your life.
And and there is a caveat for that, because there is the thing that some people do where they think they should be the main character in everyone's life, and their life is the only one that matters, so their life should be the only one that matters to everyone else. That is not what we are talking about. No one else is the main character in your life, and you should not be the main character in everyone else's life. You do have to be your own main character, though. If your story is not about you, what are you telling it for?
Exactly. I feel like a common phrase that I hear is with people with children or who are caregivers of some kind, right? And it's always, well, I don't matter. It's about my kids. Everything I do is for my kids. What happens when your kids grow up and move away? And now you don't know who the hell you are because you were never the main character in your story. You can love and care for somebody and be the best mom ever and still be your own main character.
And there is something good that kids learn when they see you take care of yourself. When they see you say, no, you can't have the last piece of pie. I haven't had any pie yet, and I'm saving that for me. That's okay. You don't always have to give everything of yourself for someone else. Do you need to take care of your kids? Yes. Are you going to sacrifice a lot of yourself for your kids? Yes. That's not everything, though. You can't sacrifice what you need when it's someone else's want.
Exactly. Like driving 6 hours in one day because my kid needed me, but I wanted to be with my kid. So
Listen, we made it work. We made it work, and we will do it again. Hopefully without as much back and forth.
Preferably without the back and forth.
Listen, the pool time was fun, though, at least.
Riley had a great time.
Hi, Riley. Great to see you. Yeah. But there's a lot of times when we hit those moments where we don't feel like we're allowed to be the main character in our life, that we're not, we're saying stuff and it's just not being listened to, or we're trying to do something, but it doesn't matter what we want or what we need. There's always something else more important. That can get really discouraging.
Yes.
And really trod you down a lot.
It comes with big feelings of feeling like you don't matter. Like you're invisible, right? Like I just have no place in this story other than I'm here to make sure everything's running smoothly. Right. And it creates all of this overwhelm to the point where we don't take care of ourselves anymore because we're so focused on being that background character instead of the main character.
Like I know for me, a lot of times what'll happen is I'll say something, and the processing of my words, I don't get the full meaning out or everything behind them. I just get this little short phrase. So it gets misinterpreted. And then I sit there and go, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I meant. You didn't actually listen to me. And it really is my fault because I had so much more in my head that I didn't express. But it still leaves me feeling like, oh, I said that in this way. And what I meant was the ground really is too wet. Please don't drive on it yet. Yeah. It's very muddy out here right now. It's very muddy.
Yes, no, absolutely. And I think that there's that moment, at least for me, when I start to realize that I have been playing the background character, which is it's a very common theme in my life, is when I notice that I am in autopilot all the time. Like, it really feels like Groundhog Day. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I make sure the laundry's done, I do the showers, I feed the children. All the things, right? Bedtime, wake up at 5 a.m. and start it all over again. And it really is like, where is that point where we can mix it up? Like, how do we shift that and bring ourselves back into an important role in our own lives?
And how do we find our voice again and find that balance? Like, for me, it's less of the Groundhog Day and it's more of a, I realize I haven't said anything about me. I haven't told anyone how I'm doing. I haven't inserted myself in any way here. I'm just kind of shutting down and fading to the background. I'm just existing.
Yes. And that happens a lot. Have you ever like found yourself not eating? I mean, like, wait a minute, I haven't eaten in a few days. That happened to me today, by the way. Ended up in urgent care while at work because I realized it's been 48 hours since I've eaten anything. Hypoglycemia really kicks your ass when you don't eat food and you live on coffee.
Yes. I usually get the hanger quicker before that and realize I'm dizzy and I'm about to feel sick. I need some sugar. So I have lots of snacks squirreled away everywhere just in case.
See, I usually hit that point, right? And I had that point yesterday. I had exactly 10 minutes between finishing a meeting and a client that was coming out to the ranch. And I was like, oh, I'm going to run inside and make a sandwich. Literally have the bread out. My phone buzzes and I look at it and I'm like, hey, we're at the gate. So me, being that background character, I was like, no problem, come on in. Put my bread away. And then apparently, like, the hunger pains just dissipated after a while, and I totally forgot about eating until about 11 o'clock hours, maybe 10:30 today at work, and I'd been there since 5 a.m.
Oh, no.
I was like, I don't feel so good. Something's wrong.
Yeah, so if you're not eating, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're not asking yourself what you need, checking in with yourself, if everything is, like you said, that autopilot feeling that, okay, whatever, I'll just go with whatever you want, I'll just go with whatever you want, you probably gave up your own narration there and you're no longer being your main person. You're not being your main character. And that's going to really have an effect on you.
Yes. You get resentful after a while. Maybe you don't realize it, but in little ways you start being frustrated that you're the only one doing that laundry. Or, oh, here we are again, cooking dinner. Wouldn't it be nice if somebody else made dinner? But have you ever asked for somebody else to take care of dinner?
Yeah. And that's that thing. Like, if you aren't your main person, you're not paying attention to what you need, what you want, what's going on with you. You're not looking at how do you balance all this stuff. All you're doing is, fine, whatever, I'll just give to this person, I'll give to this person, I'll do to this. You will wear yourself out. You will be exhausted, you will be hungry, and you will be mad at them. Even people that you love that aren't trying to take advantage of you, because you're giving up that control, because you're giving up everything of you and saying, it's fine, I'll just step aside, you're the person I should be focusing on completely. You can't.
Exactly. So, Megan, how do we make those small shifts to bring our big energy and take up space?
It does sometimes need to be big and sometimes need to be small. Like, sometimes it's you set your lunch and you sit there and you eat alone because you don't want to deal with anyone else and you want it to be your lunch. And sometimes it's you say, screw it, I'm going out to dinner. Who wants to come with me? sometimes you need to be a showy person. That doesn't fit everyone's personality, but you really do need to be the center of something. You need to matter at times.
And
for some people,
I'm picking the dinner.
yes,
Right? Not what do you guys
absolutely.
want? No, what do you want?
It's like, I want to go for tacos today. Can we go for tacos? And having the people that you love go, yeah, absolutely, whatever you want, feels good. You know, if they're like, I actually really hate tacos, but if you want them, that's fine. That can still feel good. And that's going to still feel a lot better than, okay, here you want tacos, but I really want a sub. And let's just go get a sub because that's what I want. So unless you're dating people or friends with people or just around people that you really shouldn't be spending a lot of time with, when you say, I really want this, they're probably going to be, okay. As long as it's not outlandish. Like, I really want you to fly back down to Florida and pick up Jess and come back up here. Just not possible. If it were, we would.
Is it not possible though? Is it?
We don't have the private jet. As soon as we get the private jet, that's going to happen.
And flights are really expensive.
They are. They really are.
Yes.
But just that bit of assertiveness of saying, I take up space. I matter. You know, I want to put myself out there and see how people respond. And that's terrifying because we don't think people will respond.
What if they get upset or they decide they're annoyed with you and won't tell you why they're annoyed with you?
Well, if they're annoyed with you for picking tacos, they're annoyed with you because you're picking a food. And if it's the food they hate, they're annoyed with you because they don't want to eat the food they hate. So they can go to Jim Jones. They can get a sandwich. They don't have to get your tacos.
And let's start with, if you're annoyed because I want tacos, you're not meant to be in my life.
No, that is definitely not a... Tacos need to happen, okay, people?
Exactly.
They're a lovely food.
Tacos are life.
They are.
And if you don't agree, then this isn't the podcast for you. I'm sorry.
Get out. But that's just it. Making a reasonable request that is a you preference should not be met with resistance by people without a good reason. Again, it's gotta be reasonable. It can be like, we've eaten out 5 times. We really need to eat out again. Can we make tacos at home? Yes, make home tacos. Make home tacos. Home tacos are good too.
And it doesn't
But-
have to be perfect. Like, you don't have to do big, amazing things that other people notice. Do you notice that shift that you've made? How are you making yourself important for you?
Yes. That can be something as simple as, what are you wearing? Are you picking an outfit or are you just grabbing the clean clothes off the top of the laundry pile?
Guilty.
Do you look at the outfit and say, this looks like what I want to wear? It's the comfy clothes that I want to feel. It's the cute outfit that I want to wear. I look like I have 80s shoulder pads in there and I'm about to, rock this boss job or something. Like, whatever it is you need to feel that day. Do that. Absolutely do that. I will joke about to Casey all the time if I'm wearing my court clothes, because you wear court clothes that make you feel good, because otherwise what are you doing going to court? You need that confidence boost. So do something that makes you feel like, yeah, I'm good being seen in this. I want to exist in this.
Yes. And let's talk about confidence. It's important
So important.
to allow yourself to feel confident. There's so many times that I have people kind of question if being confident is selfish. Am I seeing myself as better than other people? No, you are walking in and saying, you know what? I'm allowed to take up space and I am important.
And there's 2 things to that. Being good does not only happen by comparison. I'm not confident because I'm better than someone else. I'm confident because I know myself. And the other part is, selfish isn't always bad. There's no word for good selfishness, but there is good selfishness. When you're not stealing from others, when you're not hurting others, when you're not taking things that other people need just because you think it'd be fun or you want it, you're allowed to take up space. You're allowed to be selfish. And I have still yet to find a positive word for selfish. I keep looking, but I haven't found one yet. But you need to be selfish. To say, I'm allowed to exist too. I'm allowed to have wants. I'm allowed to have opinions. I'm allowed to say, I like this, I don't like this. And that's okay.
Yes. Society has created this idea around the word selfish, that it means you don't give back to others. But if we aren't selfish a little bit every once in a while, then we're always pouring from an empty cup. Because if you give everything to everybody all of the time, then you aren't leaving any room for you to be a character in your own story.
And I was watching some dumb video this morning. It was just about like contagion of yawning and the different factors that everyone thought yawning was about. And like, it might be to make everyone in the group sleep at the same time or to maybe wake you up. And it's always that, well, if you're yawning, you want that big inhale of oxygen. So if you see someone inhaling oxygen, you're like, oh, wait, me too. I need more oxygen too. You're going to breathe it all. That's positive selfishness. We're not actually going to run out of oxygen. If you see someone breathing in a lot of oxygen, feel free to take a deep breath. It's good for you.
Yes. It's like eating the ice cream cone behind your book so the toddlers don't see it. Because you don't want to share. And you know the second they see it, they're going to be like little vultures.
See, and that's healthy selfishness because you're an adult that needs the ice cream cone, and toddlers don't always need that much sugar.
True. Especially when they want it at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, no, that's bad. That's bad. Yeah, I think, and confidence too is one of the few things in the world that you can fake it till you make it. You cannot fake it till you make it with brain surgery, with any actual learned skill. Please don't try. Please don't try. Do not say, I have a scalpel. Let me try. No. Go study, pass your test, do that first. But confidence, you can be like, I have no clue what I'm doing here. I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to go all in and try. Yeah. That works. And if you do it and you feel good and it works good, you will be more confident the next time you do it. It actually helps you do it to just act more confident. You do the Wonder Woman pose and you put your hands on your hips and you take that deep breath. You will walk in and you will talk more surely than if you just kind of slink down beforehand like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to say. You will.
Yes. One thing that helps me whenever I am kind of feeling that blah, right, is I do my own, I hear music in my head all the time. There might be something wrong with me. That's okay. And I just dance. I do like random little dance parties. And it makes me feel happy. I look ridiculous. My kids laugh. They think it's hilarious because, oh my gosh, what are you doing? But it makes me happy. And it like gets that movement and it's helping all of that overstimulation and all that overwhelm. I am a very internal person. I hold it all tightly in my body. So that movement helps shift that energy out of my body. And then it opens my brain a little bit to be able to say, okay, what do I need? That felt really good for me. So what do I need right now?
Yeah. Because you want to get out of those little blockades and those corners that we put ourselves into. So you have movement. You're distracting yourself. You're relaxing muscle tension. You're taking some of the focus that your brain's going, don't think about the jawline. Don't think about how much your jaw is tense and how much that hurts. Don't think about your shoulders. And you're letting that all go for a moment. And it frees up with like, oh, that felt really good. You know what would else be good? Pickles. You haven't eaten pickles yet today. Have you? You need your pickles.
Oh, I have definitely eaten pickles today. I stopped at the dollar store and bought a jar on my way home from work.
Pickles are such a lovely snack food. I do love my pickles.
Yes. So, what are some signs that our listeners can start to recognize that they're falling into that background character mode and that they're no longer their main character?
So, I do put a lot of focus in what words are you using in your head. Like, how are you talking to yourself? If you are, for me, my head is a constant music, talking. Like, it's not a very visual place. It's a very auditory place in my head. So how I am talking to myself, what language I'm using. If it's like, just hush, it doesn't matter. They're fine. Like, if I'm downgrading myself before I even get words out of my head, I'm already assuming I'm not going to be listened to and that I don't deserve to take up space and I shouldn't matter. So that type of cue is oh, wait a minute. Why am I not allowed to have a voice right now? Why am I not allowed to say things? What's going on? So there's that. There's your physical presence. Like, are you walking as silently as possible around corners to avoid upsetting anyone? Are you trying to take up as tiny space as possible? Are you like knocking on the door so quietly they can barely hear you knock because you'd rather not bother them than actually knock on a door? Do you listen at the bathroom door to see if someone is in there before you knock on the bathroom door? Do I do that? Yes, I do sometimes.
I do the same thing. I don't want to interrupt somebody if they're...
No. But at the same time, why not?
I think it bothers me more when I do get up the courage to knock and they don't respond.
Okay, that's just rude.
Exactly. Like,
You just say, just a minute. That's all you say to
"All
them.
right, just a minute. I'm in here. Go the fuck away." Any bark at me, just give me some kind of acknowledgement
Occupied.
that you recognize.
I clicked
checked.
contactless delivery, whatever. Told you to leave it on the porch. Sheesh. But yeah, like anything that you're preemptively taking yourself out of the picture. You want to watch for those things. You want to watch for, we were talking about paying attention to your needs and your eating. So checking everyone else above you. Like I can't settle and eat food until I make sure absolutely everyone else has eaten food and brushed their teeth and changed into their pajamas and taken a shower. They don't need to take a shower before you eat food. They don't. You need to eat food at some point while there is still food.
I'm feeling attacked.
A little bit. If you're cleaning up the entire dinner before you think of eating the dinner.
That does happen. Yeah. Or I'm usually eating as I clean up, so.
Well, that's something.
I'm
But you
eating
don't.
what's left.
But you don't want to not pay attention to your own needs because, well, what they want should I have to be of service. I have to be of service. I have to be of service. No. No. I mean, even like you want to get into like BDSM and all that fun stuff. You still need to take care of the person that is like the whole subworld is actually in control. And if you're not taking care of them, you're doing it wrong and you're doing it bad. So feed them.
Megan, what are you into?
It's been a long day. We were talking about like our different search histories at work and how messed up they are and how we have to make sure we don't have safe search on because we need to look up all this shit. So yeah, but like all of that. So all of that, anything that makes you smaller, anything that steps back, not necessarily from a situation, because there are plenty of situations where it's like, this is not for me to be the main person. This is about someone else. Somebody else is talking about their horrible week and all the trauma they're having. That's not for me to showcase myself in. That's not. That is about them at the moment. The situation I am not the main character in. But when you're stepping back from yourself, from your awareness, from what you are, you need to take a pause and be like, what is going on? You cannot take care of your family, your loved ones. You cannot do your job. You cannot exist if you stop taking care of yourself and stop letting yourself exist for yourself. Mm-hmm. The things that we do, the way we interact, it needs to be on purpose. We need to be the people that we want to be, not just autopilot, slowly growing resentful, letting our brains take us places that aren't very nice, that aren't thinking very well of ourselves, or getting mad at the people we love just because we really needed that extra sandwich instead of giving it away.
Yes. Really pay attention to your language of how you're talking to yourself. And one thing that really helps me is paying attention to, am I just trying to get through the day or am I actively being present in my day? Mm-hmm. And that tiny little shift, just how I'm looking at it, even if it's a shitty day, really changes how I'm interacting with it and how I show up and am there and engaging with everybody else around me.
Yeah. It's impossible to be present and aware and connected constantly. It is not, we are not built for that as humans. You will burn out if you try. But when you become aware of yourself and of that, you do want to be able to check in and be present. You want to be able to pull yourself back to that state of, how am I doing? Am I acting the way I want to act? Am I taking care of myself? Am I actually engaging in this world? And if you're not doing that, if you can't take the time to make yourself actively be engaged in your life, you've probably taken a back seat for far too long.
Yes. Being your main character is not about that being loud or perfect or constantly on point, perfectly polished, all of those little things. Big things, right? Because I did a lot of work. I ain't about that life. It's not a toxic positivity performance. It is more about knowing your worth and that it's okay to be messy. I know my worth even though I'm messy. Making decisions for yourself and not waiting for somebody to give you permission to make those decisions. Or, but what do you want to do? Because I'm afraid to choose. What if you don't like it? And allowing yourself to enjoy those little things.
Because what if they don't like it? What if they are some very strange person that you really appreciate the company of, but they don't like pickles? That's okay. They don't have to eat the pickles.
We can't be friends.
I know.
Actually, we could be friends because I ain't got to share my pickles.
You don't have to share your pickles, and whenever you go out to eat, you get the pickle off their plate.
Those
Those are good friends, actually.
You know, Ryan doesn't like dill pickles. He only likes those nasty bread and butter ones. And it used to really bother me, but now I'm like, every time he orders a hamburger, I just open my burger up and I'm like, put them on. He used to order no pickles. Now he says nothing, and his pickles go onto my extra pickle hamburger.
See, now I am equal opportunity for all pickles. You give me sweet, spicy dill, I'll love them all. So yeah, if you don't want your pickles, I will happily eat any pickles.
Yeah. I like the pickles. Pickled anything. I will eat almost. Because I ain't eating no pickled pig's feet. That's not happening. Pickled
I've
anything.
never tried it. I don't know.
I can't get past, like, the texture, the look.
The look, I could ignore if the texture's good. If the texture's bad, I can't touch it.
I've watched somebody eat them one time, and it, like, took everything in me. But I didn't walk away, right? Because I didn't want to hurt nobody's feelings. But fucking gross, bro. I'm struggling here.
I know, I'm such a texture person. Like if it's a texture I can't handle, it's just a no. Sorry, it doesn't matter if I like the flavor, just can't do it.
I have a weak stomach. I'm not an internal medicine doctor for a reason.
I thought about it, but then no. We'll get you to the doctor level at some point, though.
Possibly. We'll see where life takes
Work
us.
on that.
So, Megan, I have a question for you.
Yes.
What does your main character energy look like on your worst day?
On my worst day? On my worst day, I don't exist.
So, how do we find that? What could it look like?
That is a good question. So, when I'm bad and I don't have main character energy, I don't feel like talking because I can't get my words out right, and it doesn't matter because no one's going to listen anyway, and I don't want to take up any space at all because why would I be a nuisance or bother to anyone? So if I try to counter that, it's give me a second to think before I say that. Hold on, I need to get my words together, because that is a big thing. Like, I need that time to make sure the words that come out of my mouth actually say what I mean them to say in full and not just that tiny little bit. And I'm going to sit here because I want to sit here. I'm going to come and say hi to you because I need to leave my office at some point. I need a human interaction. I need to not just be hiding in here. So it's literally going and saying, hi, I'm taking up space. Without the caveat of, is that okay? Can I come in here? Is it, I know you're eating lunch, but can I eat lunch with you?
Saying no without a PowerPoint.
That's hard. Or asking for something without offering 3 excuses, 6 loopholes, and 2 ways of which I'll be okay if you just flat out deny me.
Yes. I have caught myself, like, even at work. And actually, my supervisor called me out on it. When I ask for something that's usually pretty legitimate because it takes everything in me to ask for something in the first place, it's always followed up with, before they even have a chance to answer, but it's okay if you can't do that, or it's okay if you say no. Like, I want you to know it's okay to say no to me.
Right. It's okay if you're busy. It's okay if you did that. Like, I went to my I'm really good friends with our office manager, and I went to her office this morning because we were chatting about stuff. And normally I'll just like kind of lean against the door and the wall, and I'll just stand there. I sat in her desk chair. Like, she was on the couch, so I sat on her desk chair. It is a really comfy chair. I might need a new chair. But I said, I'm going to sit because that's more comfortable than standing. And I sat in her chair, and it was wonderful and comfortable. And she didn't care. She didn't yell at me for sitting in a chair that she wasn't actively sitting in.
Interesting.
Right?
I have started, because I used to come into my office when I would have a client, and I would stand at the door, and I'm like, sit wherever you're comfortable. And then I noticed it makes clients uncomfortable because then they're just kind of looking around. Because, like, as you can tell, I've got a big old couch and I've got a cute little comfy chair. And then there's, like, my actual office chair. I've only ever had one client that, like, walked in and sat in my office chair. Like, I don't know if they were just testing to see if I would tell them to move. And I went and sat on the couch. And I was like, all right, let's talk now. Right? But I recognized, like, that made them uncomfortable, and I had to really think about how would I feel if somebody did that, right? Like, I'm gonna go sit where I feel like I'm most out of the way. So I have started walking in and I sit down first and I'm like, have a seat wherever you're comfortable, right? Because then I'm modeling that it's okay to sit where you prefer to sit. And I move around. Like, I'll be talking, like I'm up in their face and I'm over in my chair and then I'm on the couch next to them. It just really depends on my dynamic with them. But that even something as small as picking your chair is so big, because what if you're in the way?
Right. Because it's that, am I allowed to take up space? So having that slight main character energy is, yes, I'm allowed to take up space. I'm not allowed to look at you and say, move, I'm more important than you, because that's not what we're talking about here. But I'm allowed to have a seat on any open chair that looks comfortable that I want to sit on. And if I decide I don't like it, like if I sit in your little cute cozy chair and I'm like, actually, this is really hard and I wanted something squishy, I can move. And that's okay too. And it won't hurt your feelings and it won't upset you.
It might upset me if you don't like my chair. I picked that chair.
It might be a lovely chair. I haven't sat in your chair actually, so I don't know how comfy it is.
I would like you all to know Megan would not make that drive with me. She went to the beach instead. I did. I'm very proud of her for choosing herself.
It was very hard. It was very hard. Yeah, like it's hard to counter that at times. And the more you do it, the more you say, oh, I'm just going to take up space. I'm going to say what I like. I'm going to order the food that I want instead of ordering the food that matches what everyone else is ordering when we go to a restaurant. There is a subtle pull for that one. Sometimes not so subtle, but there is. Like, is it okay if I order this thing instead of that thing?
Is it?
It is. It is.
I'm a picky eater, so I don't have a problem picking what food I want.
But yeah, it's the question of what are we ordering? What type of food are we ordering? Is someone just making a meal of appetizers? Am I allowed to order a full meal? No, you order what you feel like eating. You're paying for it anyway. Just order the food.
Exactly. That always when people are like, is it okay if I order this? Well, I don't care. Order, what do you want? You getting an appetizer? Because I know I'm getting fried pickles.
Ooh, yes. Always get the fried pickles if they have fried pickles. Always.
Yes.
But it's better when it's the spears and not the slices. You want the big fried pickles.
I'm so glad to hear you say that. This is why you're my best friend.
Exactly. I know. I know things.
Eventually, when I get you to come, like, actually visit here, I'm going to take you to my favorite little place, and they have the most delicious fried pickle spears. It's a twisty treat.
And the bookstore tea shop.
Yes, and we have to go to the bookstore coffee shop, and it's got all the teas, and we've got so much to do.
I'll be there. I'll be there.
Sorry if you hear my chicken. They're in my barn where they don't belong, and they're taunting me outside of my office door. They're like, hey, guess what?
I'm in here laying an egg. Haha.
Taking up space. Next question.
Yes.
What's a weird being the keyword, small thing that instantly makes you feel more like you?
That is a fun question. Because I don't, there's so many like little weird things that are me. So like, can't see because it's the back, but I crocheted this. I made this and it's wonderful. And I like wearing it because it feels very flowy and drapey. So when I wear my scarves and things like that, that makes me feel good. That makes me feel like me. Things like that. If I can tell if I'm in a good mood. And I can tell if I'm balanced and taking care of myself because I will sing when I'm wandering around the office. Like if I'm walking around or I'm getting tea, I'll just start singing things. The only time that was bad was in college when I just randomly got the Poe song, I'm Not a Virgin Anymore, stuck in my head. And I realized I was singing that as I walked by the entire soccer team.
Yeah. That's glorious.
I went to a little Wesleyan Christian college, and I sang that song while walking by the soccer team just because it got stuck in my head.
Oh, that's fabulous. I love it.
Oh, it was lovely. Because I didn't realize it until I got to practice. I'm like, I just walked by the soccer team. What was I saying? Oh,
Yes.
I hope it made their days.
Very similarly, mine is dancing, not singing, because I know what I want to hear you sing. I know when I'm balanced and I feel like happier than normal and outgoing and like things are great when I find myself dancing in inappropriate times. Yes. And I say inappropriate in the manner of inappropriate for me. Megan knows me very well. I am a very introverted person. I am very like back in the shadows. I like to be invisible. Don't notice me. Don't look at me. Don't make eye contact with me because Lord Jesus, now I gotta make eye contact back. Oh my God, am I standing right? Am I looking at you right? Did I look too long? Are my eyes crooked? All the things. All these things are going through my brain. So if I find myself dancing, then I'm like, there's like that little bit of, does somebody see that? Also, I don't care. I'm going to keep on dancing. Great. Like, yeah.
It's like, did someone see that? Will they join in?
Yes. Yes. Like I find myself most in my element doing sessions out in the horse pasture. And it's usually with my teenagers. Like, that's how I know my teenagers are my happy place, right? Because they're totally judging me. I'm apparently less intimidated by teenager judgment than I am adult judgment. Because I'm dancing and saying weird things and they still love me. They come back. So
the amount, the amount I will embarrass myself in front of anyone, child or teenager, like, okay, you're worried about that? Let me do the dumbest thing possible in order for you to feel more comfortable. Absolutely. It's like, why not? I am comic relief right now. It's okay to be human.
Yeah.
You gotta. But you gotta. So what is something that can get you to that stage when you realize, oh, I'm too much in the background. I'm not paying attention to myself. I'm not balanced. I'm not taking care of myself. How do you get yourself there? How do you take up that space?
I think a big one for me is allowing myself to rest even when I feel guilty. Like we were supposed to record the other night and I had that headache that like put me out. I literally, we got home, we got stuck on the highway for 4 hours, people. And my son and I got home and I literally laid on the couch. It was probably like noon, 12:30, whenever I text you and they said we were finally free. And next thing I know, like, I wake up and my husband's sitting at my feet on the couch and I'm like, you don't get home until 5. What are you doing home early? He's like, you've been asleep all day. Like, the day's gone, friends. And I was like, oh, okay. And I rolled over and went back to sleep. Like, I was awake just long enough to text you and say, hey, I feel like I'm dying.
Yep. I was like, go take care of yourself.
And there was so much guilt. Like, I got up and I took Tylenol and I'm like trying to arouse myself and be awake and alive because I'm like, oh my gosh, we have to record. And then you were like, nope, you need the rest. Like, if it happens, it happens kind of thing. And I was feeling guilty, but I was like, I need this. Like, my brain is killing me. So I think that's how I recharge myself enough to be clear-headed enough to say, okay, I need to change some things for me right now. What about you?
I think it's similar. So I know, like, both of our dogs are sick this week, and it just hit the point where one was sick, and okay, we got dealed, and then the other one got sick, and it's just like, I just shut down. It's like, okay, I'm at that point where I'm just mindlessly scrolling and mindlessly staring at things, and I can't make myself engage. I need to take a break. I need to take a nap. If I get very undercharged, I need a bath. I need to recharge my lava blood because I need heat. I need warmth because it is not that warm up here. Even it just was like 50 today. It just felt cold.
It's 90 degrees. Come back.
Should. We might get 70 next week. I'm so excited. That's sad. But yeah, I need that recharge. And it took me forever to discover because in the summertime, I run my equine groups Saturday afternoons. And in the wintertime, it's too cold outside to run them because I just run them in my yard. So I have an afternoon on Saturdays. And I finally figured out I can just take a bath and be editing and writing reports from my bathtub. And it is wonderful. Instead of sitting here at my desk in my room and sitting and typing, I can do this in a bathtub and be so much happier and so much more recharged afterwards. And I love it.
Lovely. Baths recharge me too.
It's a wonderful thing.
I very sadly don't have a bathtub right now. Our house only has a little like RV size shower. It's very depressing.
If it gets warm enough up here, come visit. You can use my bathtub.
There we go. I keep saying, I told Ryan, I was like, I'm just going to buy a jacuzzi tub and put it outside and just put a curtain around it. He's like, no, you're not. That's weird. Why not? Like, I don't even care. He's like, the first time a frog jumps in that bathtub with you, you'll never get in it again. This is facts.
Only because the frog would instantly be boiled and that'd be bad.
That's true. I take fire water baths, so this is very true. Very true.
It's like, if it's not so hot, it's hard to get into, it's not hot enough.
And then you get so used to it, you're sweating, but it's still, now I need it hotter because my body has adjusted.
Yes. Exactly. So those are the recharges, which are big. And you want to use them before you're burnt out, before you're sitting there and death scrolling through your phone and staring at a wall for 3 hours because you're just done with everything. But how can we keep ourselves from getting to that point? What things can we build in to try to help?
I think by creating a main character starter pack.
Do tell.
So
What's in yours?
I'm thinking, like for me, I need a hoodie. I need to be like super soft. I like the super soft material where I feel like it's just a hug.
Yes.
And I always have a cup of tea or coffee. Sometimes juice, but it's mostly tea or coffee, I'm not gonna lie. And music. Lately for me it's been audiobooks. That is what has, there's a weird bug on my desk. That is what has filled my cup lately, is my audiobooks. I like start series, and then if I'm getting overwhelmed, I want to listen to my book because it takes me into a fantasy land. I listen to fantasy romance, sorry guys. And that's what kind of chills me out. And then snacks, because I need to snack. Snacks make me happy. I don't care if I'm going to get fat. Like, I like snacks.
Girl, you're not going to get fat.
And hey, I've started working out for me. Like, nice. 30 minutes a day. I got a cruise coming up. I need to look good in a bikini. And right now, I do not look good in a bikini.
I think that's a lie. Y'all can vote in if you want, but I'm pretty sure that's a lie.
I used to have abs. Now I do not have abs, my friends.
Abs only happen when you're 20s. They aren't real after that.
In my 30s and they were gone.
Exactly. See? I love that. So yeah, so you have a comfort thing, you have like amp up songs, you have self-care with the snacks, you have things that cover so many of the senses, so many of the bases of what you need and what you want. And that's just it. If you pay attention to and take care of your needs and your wants, and you give yourself permission to have them, it's so much easier to step into that space, to take up that space and be like, no, I do matter. And that is the essence of being that main character, saying, I matter. I'm not the main character in everyone's story, but I matter. I am a named character, and this plot point, this chapter is following me.
I'm worth being a main character.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that you fight the big baddie. That doesn't mean that you have the love triangles to end all love triangles and you're constantly with this one and that one. It doesn't have to be drama. It just has to be, we're going to focus on you and live your life on purpose. Your life is going to have a start, it's going to have a purpose, and it's going to have an end, and you're going to live every moment of it. And that's what this means.
And don't get lost in trying to figure out what that written purpose is.
No.
I still don't know what my purpose is. I'm just here. I'm living day to day.
Your purpose is just to actually be here and to be a part of this all.
Yes.
That's enough. What you decide to do with it is up to you. We're not going to tell you. No, that is your choice. We do have opinions. We will judge you. If you're a serial killer, we're really going to judge you.
I really just
Really
want to do an interview with you. So if you're a serial killer, please feel free to send us an anonymous email and join our podcast.
You can have the voice decoder and everything on here. We'll have you on here. You can say whatever you want, but we are going to judge you very harshly. We listen and we judge.
Who are you being a serial killer to? Because I might not judge you that harshly.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to judge you negatively, but I am going to judge you. We're just going to judge. It's okay. It's okay.
Do you have chicks in your office?
I don't for once.
Okay, then that's coming from my barn.
Yes, it does. Oh, so on that note, anything else you want to add to this?
Dare you? Yes, you in the hoodie. You're not lost. You are in the montage.
Listen, if I can't get away with wearing a hoodie, mine's not. If I can't get away with wearing a hoodie, I wear fuzzy socks because they're hidden. They're hidden under my pants and under my shoes, and no one knows that I have the fuzzy socks on because sometimes you just need something comfort clothes, no matter what you're doing.
Listen, I am that therapist. You come in my office, the first thing you're gonna notice that I'm gonna do is kick my shoes off. I don't care.
Yeah.
You either love me or you hate me. If you hate me, like, bye.
It's like if I'm sitting on my chair, I can guarantee I'm not sitting on my chair like it's a regular chair because no, it's not comfortable all day. You got to kind of curl up and you get your feet up. You just kind of coach on the side. You do what you got to do. It just is what it is.
I had a video session the other day, and it was an older client. He was like, "Are you sitting Indian style in your chair?" I was like, "Yes, I am."
Of course. How else do I hold my giant crochet
camera?
project? It's like, how else do I have enough space for my giant crochet project while I'm talking to you online? Come on, let's do this.
Exactly. I'm here. I'm present.
Exactly. I have to work on my things. They make me feel better.
Yes. And I have to say, the shawls and the scarves, those remind me of you too.
Yeah.
Every time I
make
see
me
one,
happy.
it reminds me of you.
It makes me happy.
They make me happy, seeing you happy. So here we are.
So that will do it for us today. So take up space. You're allowed to. Please be loud. Say your needs, say your wants. Maybe someone will accommodate them, but they won't know how to if you don't put them out there. So put them out there. It's okay to exist.
Yes.
It really is.
And it's okay to be quiet too. Being loud overwhelms me. I don't like being loud. I'm a quiet person.
Your need can be not to talk. It's okay.
I hate when people tell me, you talk too quiet, talk louder. I'm not going to talk louder, but I'll stand closer if that will make you feel better.
Why don't we turn down all the noise and stand closer? And hey, I'd love to hear what you have to say. Let's go somewhere where I can hear you.
Facts. Don't take me to a loud, crowded restaurant because all of us, we were all like, get me out of here.
Yeah, I've had days where it's like I am here and I don't know what anyone is saying. I am just nodding and smiling along and get me home.
Yes.
So, but thank you all for joining us. Hopefully you're going to be a little more your own main character, and it's okay. You don't got to be my main character, but you got to be your main character. So I hope you can do that. And if you found us once, you can find us again. We're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere else where you can find your podcast. We exist. We exist online. Where else can they find us, Jess?
We are everywhere. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. And I think one thing that I'm going to start doing is posting challenges because I feel like we usually have a challenge in here of how to reflect and to do. So I think for this week, a challenge that I'm going to post when we get to posting this podcast, this one here in particular, is do one thing this week that your background character would never do.
I love that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. We do need to be a little more active in our social media, so I think that'll be fun. I like it.
Yes.
All right. Thank you all for joining us, though, and we will talk to you again in a couple weeks. So take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye, friends.